Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sonia. I go by It's Classy Sonia. By the way, if you're not subscribed already, you can go ahead and subscribe now down below. Also, give it a thumbs up. This is going to be an awesome conversation. I wanted to talk to you all about how and when I met the love of my life. So, basically, let me start by saying my husband is the most wonderful guy I have ever met. Okay? Period. Now, of course, you know everything ain't always peaches and cream. Okay, ain't always candy on the rocks. No, you just got to be able to hang on in there. So, anyway, let's get into it. Now, I met my husband at the Martin Luther King Parade 2007 of January. I mean, of course, that's when the Martin Luther King Parade is, right? So anyway, it was in Miami. I say that because now I'm in Georgia. So it was Miami Martin Luther King Parade. So basically, I'm with my kids, my two daughters at that time, and he had his daughter with him, and I turn around. This is the day that we met. I turn around and he's like whispering. And I'm like, what? And he said it again. He was like, and I'm like, is he a joke? Like, what? Who says that? So anyway, I turned around and I turned around because I was ordering some conch salad or whatever anyway. So when I turned back around, he was like, let me get your number. So instead of giving him my number, I took his number because I wanted to be able to call whenever I was ready, not for him to call me. Because I was a moody person. Like, I don't want to call. If I don't want to call, I just ain't going to call. And if I don't feel like it, or, you'll talk to me when I'm ready to talk. Bratty. Anyway, so listen, this whole thing. Okay, so that was the day that we met. Now listen to this. This is so awesome. Oh my God, God is so good. Listen to this, right? So, okay, first I gotta give y'all the beginning of how that that happened even happened. Okay, so let me get to this, right? I was dating around or whatever the case may be. I was a single woman, out there or whatever, and I was dating guys, right? So anyway, the night before the Martin Luther King parade morning was, I had broken up with someone or whatever the case may be, right? So, I just was like, okay, this is it. I can't do this no more, whatever, right? So anyway, gave it up. I was serious about it though. Okay, now I'm single, right? So, a few months before that even happened, I was talking to my best friend. I was talking to my best friend, and as we always normally talk, and she was like, I was like, what I gotta do to meet my husband? Because she's married, right? She was married at that time, too. So she was like, listen, I'm gonna tell you what I did to get my husband. And she was like, you gotta get on your knees. You gotta pray to God and tell God what you want in a husband. You gotta tell God you want a husband. But before that, you have to let God see that you're ready for a husband. God not gonna give you a husband if he don't feel that you're even ready for a husband. And okay, by that she meant, okay, you're still dating people, you're not ready. You're not ready for a husband because you're still out here dating people. You have to be single and just be by yourself so God can go ahead and open those doors and whatever, right? So that's the speech she gave to me or whatever. And I love that. I love her for that. And she was like, yeah, you got to be specific though. When you talk to God and tell God what you want in a husband, you got to be specific. She was like, when I talked to God, I told God how I want my husband to look, how I want him to just being specific, the specifics. So basically, one day I got on my knees and I prayed. I'm talking about tears pouring down, just I got on my knees and I prayed to God that God give me my husband that I wanted. And I was very specific. I was like, okay, God, I want a husband. I want my husband to be short. I don't like tall guy. I don't want a husband for a tall guy. I probably dated some, but I don't want him for a husband to be with him forever. So anyway, I wanted my husband to be just a little over me or whatever, which my husband is. I was like, I don't want my husband. I don't want him to smoke. I don't like guys that smoke. I don't want him to have dreads. I didn't like guys with dreads or don't like guys with dreads. Not don't like as in don't like you. I mean, don't like as in for you to be my lover and my significant other, my husband. I didn't weren't interested in dating a guy with dreads or whatever, right? So, so I was like, I don't want him to smoke. I don't want him to have dreads. I want him to have brown eyes, short. I want him to have no hair on his head so that I can rub his head. Like, that's what I like. That's what I told God. I was serious. I was crying. I remember this day. I was on my knees, tears pouring out, crying. And and basically, when I met him at the parade, right? Okay, so listen to this. Y'all got to hear this. When I met him at the parade, he didn't tell me this day or whatever, which I ended up calling him the night of the parade. I ended up calling him. Something happened. I needed to conversate or whatever with somebody, and I called and talked to him, and we had a long conversation. I mean, we were talking for like about probably 3 to 4 hours. Probably 3 to 4 hours. I called at 12. I think we was on the phone until about 4 in the morning. Yeah. So he told me before. Now he didn't tell me this night, but he told me, during our time dating or whatever, he was like, God put us together. He was like, he had dreads in his hair before the parade. He cut his dreads a day before the parade. He used to smoke weed. He stopped smoking weed a week before the parade. It's like God was preparing him for his wife, and he didn't even know it, and I didn't even know it. Like, God just putting this together. Oh my God. So, he those are things that he stopped, and I'm like, wow. When he told me that, I was like, wow, really? Like, it means so much to me because God shaped him for me. You know how special that is? Man. Listen. And okay, I gotta give y'all the rundown on me when I was dating. Okay, so listen to this, right? Before I met him, I was looking for a husband and things, right? I used to go out the door, go pump gas, put gas in my car. My car already probably have gas in it. Go put gas in my car just to meet a guy or whatever, right? Go shopping, Walmart things and places or whatever, just to somebody to talk to me, just to meet people or whatever, just to get out and meet people. I listen, y'all do not laugh, don't judge me, please, please, please. Okay, some of you know the flea market in Miami. Well, it used to be. Was that 70? No, that wasn't. That was Carol Mart. Carol Mart. Carol Mart in Carol City is not there anymore. Me and my best friend, she gonna kill me for this one. We used to go put our numbers. We had our numbers like already written, like a few of them or whatever, and put them in our purse. Or we had something we used to bring it with, right? And put them on car doors. Like, not every car, specific cars. car doors, like put it on the windshield wiper or whatever. Or if I'm not mistaken, we used to put our card there. We had our business cards. You know, we write on your numbers were already on it. We put our business card on the windshield wiper or whatever, right? And they call. But anyway, that's how we used to go out and meet guys before. Don't judge me, please. But I was single and I guess you call it desperate, but I know my worth. So I know my worth. And those that called was not worth my time, was not worth even a date. So I guess you get, when you do things a certain way, because Ba's doing things that way, even when she talked to me and told me the things that the guy is saying on the phone or whatever the case may be, it sounded like the same thing. So it's like, you put yourself out there for that. You put your number on my card. So what, you finna give up something? What's up? I didn't say give me your number. So that's what I wanted to say to ladies. We put ourselves in positions that we're not ready for. Basically, I wasn't ready for a guy to talk to me the way that they talked to me on the phone and said the things that they said, and the expectations that they had. But I did that. You know what I mean? Because I put my number on these guys' cars. What are you offering? What's up? Yeah, it is your business card or whatever the case may be, but it says call me on the back. It says call me. Okay? So there. Um I was a mess. I was a mess. I really was. But that is how I met my husband at the Martin Luther King parade. And ever since I met him, I always he was always giving, I felt like he wasn't real. Everything he was saying and doing, and how the kind of guy he was, I was like, I'm just sitting back waiting for the day for him to change and become this other person, and it never happened. It never happened. Till this day, he's still that same guy. He's still that same good dude. And it's unbelievable because you don't run into that. You don't meet and I love him so much. I love him so much. And so okay, that's what I was waiting. I did not expect him to be that good dude. You know what I mean? And I remember when I felt like this, he was my husband. I told my we went out. We had went out on a date to see Daddy's Little Girl. That's when the movie had just come out. I took my two daughters. He took his daughter. And, I was sitting here. My two daughters were sitting on this side of me. He sat here to me, and his daughter sat on that side of him. They don't know, we're just we're just dating and trying to do this. So anyway, we went on that date. Everybody enjoyed themselves. Our kids was very young. They probably was like 7 years old at the time. So well, I probably had a 7 and a 5-year-old, and he had a 7-year-old. Okay. Or I had a 6 and a 4-year-old, and he had a 7-year-old. So anyway, at that time, basically, I remember him going to church with me. I invited him to come to my church, Jesus People Ministries. He came to my church with me. He enjoyed himself. We had a nice time. We talked in the car about, the sermon and everything. And I was so pleased with his spirit. I had talked to my best friends while he's sitting in the driver's seat, and I called my best friends and talked to them, and I was like, listen, I think he my husband. Well, I was like, yeah, I said, I think he my husband. She was one of my friends, Keita, she was like cracking up like, girl, what makes you think that man your husband? Why you say that? What makes you think he your husband? I was like, I'm telling you, I think he is my husband. And of course, the two of them, they laughed about it. We all thought it. I wasn't sure, but I explained to them how the things that he told me, he prayed for or whatever, and I was telling them about what I prayed for, and then how it just happened and went together. Like, this got to be my husband. You know what I mean? So anyway, we just ended. We dated and things. He come over my house. I had just moved into my place probably 3 months before he came. Before we started dating, and he would come over my house and fix my. And he fixed my computer desk. He put up my TV stand for me. It was so sweet. We went out on our first date was Valentine's Day at a comedy show. That was awesome. And he went home. My thing, I had, I believe I had a 30-day or 3 month rule. I'm not sure because it's been so long. But I kept my rule. I kept my rule. Whatever it was, it must have been 30 days because I kept my rule. And he didn't pressure me. He didn't ask for anything. Like, oh my God, I remember us just being genuine and caring for each other. I liked him so much because I lived in Homestead at the time and he lived in Miami. I remember I was like, oh, I gotta get him what's the thing on the car? So when you go through the toll thing or whatever, I went and got him one of those so he can come and see me because to come to Homestead you gotta pass the toll and pay. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get him one of those. I went and brought him one of those and gave it to him, and he thought that was so sweet. It you know, it was just a little cute gesture. I thought it was cute for me to do. Now and okay, now while we were dating, when we our conversations were, I remember asking him, okay, what's your credit score? What's your credit looking like? Um, where do you live? At that time, he was living with his mom. I asked him how's your life with your daughter and your daughter mother and things. Like, we talked about everything, and I explained him mine as well. And he just thought it was really sweet that I even asked or cared enough. And I was like, okay, that's something we can fix. You know what I mean? I had just fixed my credit and stuff or whatever. I was like, okay, we could fix that. Like, what's your total debt of credit that needs to be taken care of? And I remember telling him, I'll pay for that or whatever the case may be, right? So, like, I didn't mind. I didn't mind. That's how much I cared for him. But of course, our we just dated until like okay, it became conversations until we just stopped conversing, and one didn't call the other and the other didn't. I didn't call, he didn't call, whatever the case may be, and this happened. This happened. We separated. I would say for a year, 2006, for about a year. Separated for about a year. And we didn't talk to each other. I didn't hear from him. He didn't hear from me. And guess what? I wanted him. I wanted him so bad. I wanted him so bad. This man stayed on my mind. This man stuck in my mind. So what I did was I was like, okay. One day I was sitting in my bedroom and I was on the bed just laying there watching TV, and I heard God tell me, go get your husband. Listen, I'm telling you, I heard that voice one time. One time. I got my butt up off the bed because I had got to the point of when I hear God's voice, move. So I heard God tell me, go get your husband. And I knew he was talking about him because I kept hearing God tell me that, like, in sequences of, during this, after I separated from him. So I got my butt up off the bed. I had on my night clothes or whatever in my bed. I think I even put on nothing. I put on my slides on my feet. I got my kids out of their bed. They was like going to sleep. They weren't asleep. Got my kids out of the bed. We jumped in my car, rode from Homestead all the way to Miami, and I waited for him. Like, I put my card in the mailbox, and it said, call me. Because I didn't get out the car and, like, go knock on the door or whatever. Or did I? No, I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I I put the car in the mailbox and I just sat at I sat out there right in front of the door. So his mom had came outside and she had went in the mailbox. I guess she saw someone out there. She went in the mailbox and she took it inside. But when I saw her, I said, "Is Sean home?" She was like, "No, he's not here." So when she said he's not here, I'm like, "Oh God, no! I hope he's not staying with another woman. I hope he's not living with another woman. I got his life, situated and stuff." And what did I do? Like, I'm scared. I'm afraid that that's what happened. I'm in my car crying, crying, and crying. I say, "Okay." I remember I remember where his friend lived. I know he hangs out with his friend, his best friend. So I said, I think I remember where he lived. I went driving around in Opalaka, riding around in streets, to different streets to try to see if I could find the house. Could not find the house. So I just rode back to his mom's house and I sat there for hours. I think I left my house 10 p.m. I sat there to about, I sat out there, but I parked away from the house to see till I see his car pull up. I sat out there till like 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. I even fell asleep. And he still wasn't there. So when I woke up, I put the number in the mail. I put another card in the mailbox or whatever again, just in case his mom didn't give him that one. I put the card in the mailbox again and said, "Call me." So anyway, that morning he called. He actually called. And when he called, my eyes just went up like, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you." And when I saw the number, I was like, "Oh, that's the number." Because listen, I remember the first three numbers, but I couldn't remember the last one. So I tried numbers after numbers after numbers, trying to, like, I wanted this dude. I wanted him. And he's mine today. So anyway, he called me and he came by. We talked we talked about maybe an hour. Probably not even an hour. No, it wasn't an hour. We probably talked for like 25 minutes. And then he came over to my house to come and pick me up. And we went somewhere. Did we go on a date that day? I went somewhere with him. I went somewhere with him to do something. And later in that evening, we went on a date. So I really enjoyed myself. And that's all I wanted to tell you guys. That that is how I met my husband. And I'm so glad I'm married. Oh, by the way, let me show y'all something. So we got engaged October 18th, 2008. How I know that date so hard? That was the day of my brother's birthday. So he went out and got me an engagement ring. This was the ring. This was the ring right here. I don't wear this ring. I just put it on to show you all. This was the ring that he had got me. Now, years later, this was the ring that he got me. He got me this ring later. I love it. I love it. I love it. To this day, this ring still means so much to me, though. It means so much to me. This is my first ring, and I remember him saying, like, I have this one, but he's like, "I'm gonna get you another." I don't. Nope. Nope. I'm not. That's not me. That's not me. I don't want. I don't want rings. I don't want a whole bunch of rings. That don't mean nothing to me. This one right here. This one. This means a lot to me. This, I love it. And I wear this one. But this ain't going anywhere. This means a lot to me. Oh, it's twisted. This ring means a lot to me. And he still have his first ring that I brought him. So, that's it, guys. I just wanted to talk to you guys and tell you about my little married life and how I got married, how I met my husband. So I hope this helps someone. And Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, love you all. See you. Bye bye.